First contact fallacy. The 12 massive ships appeared without warning in Earth's orbit on an otherwise unremarkable Tuesday morning. One moment, satellite operators were tracking the usual debris and spacecraft. The next, their screens blazed, with alerts as objects larger than aircraft carriers materialized simultaneously around the planet. Commander Maya Chen was leading a routine training exercise at the International Space Defense Command when the first reports came in. Her team of international specialists froze as the enormous holographic display at the center of the command room shifted to show the alien vessels, sleek, elongated crafts with peculiar crystalline structures protruding from their hulls. "All stations full alert," Maya ordered, her voice calm despite the adrenaline surging through her body. At 38, she had become the youngest commander in ISDC history, renowned for her tactical brilliance and unflappable demeanor. Both qualities would be tested today. "Commander, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," Lieutenant Park announced, fingers flying across his console. The signals coming through in perfect English. The holographic display flickered and a figure appeared, humanoid but undeniably alien, with iridescent blue-gray skin, elongated features, and eyes that seemed to shift color as it spoke. "People of Earth, I am High Emissary Vorix of the Sarathian Protectorate. We come in peace and observation. We have been monitoring your development for some time and have determined your civilization has reached an appropriate stage for formal contact. Prepare a delegation to meet with us. Coordinates. Follow." The message ended as abruptly as it had begun. The command room erupted in chatter. "Silence," Maya commanded. "Lieutenant Park, get me the Secretary General. Dr. Harrison, begin analysis of those ships. I want to know everything. Power signatures, weapons capabilities, communication methods. And someone get me everything we know about Sarathians, though I suspect that's precisely nothing." Within hours, Maya found herself aboard a hypersonic transport to New Geneva, where world leaders had hastily convened. She had been unanimously selected to lead Earth's first diplomatic team, a responsibility that weighed heavily as she reviewed the scant intelligence they had gathered. "Their technology is unlike anything we've seen," Dr. Aisha Harrison explained, projecting schematics onto the cabin wall. "Energy readings suggest they're using some form of matter-antimatter propulsion. But there's something else. Spatial distortions around their hulls that defy our understanding of physics." "Do they pose an immediate threat?" Maya asked. "They haven't taken aggressive action yet, but those ships pack enough firepower to level cities. Their defensive capabilities appear equally formidable." The meeting with the aliens was arranged at a neutral location, an orbital platform hastily assembled between Earth and lunar orbit. Maya led a team of 5. Herself, Dr. Harrison, a linguistics expert, a cultural anthropologist, and a military strategist disguised as a security attaché. High Emissary Vorix towered over them, standing nearly 8 feet tall. 3 other Sarathians flanked him, their movements fluid and precise like water flowing across stone. "Commander Chen," Vorix began, his voice resonating strangely, "we welcome this historic meeting. The Sarathian Protectorate encompasses over 400 sapient species across this arm of the galaxy. We maintain peace, facilitate trade, and guide developing civilizations toward enlightenment." Maya maintained her diplomatic smile. "We're honored by your interest, High Emissary, though I must admit we're curious why you've chosen this moment to reveal yourselves. Your species has reached what we classify as a Level 2 civilization. You've harnessed nuclear energy, begun rudimentary space exploration, and developed global communication networks. You stand at a crucial juncture where many species either ascend to greatness or destroy themselves. We offer guidance through this precarious transition." The meeting continued for hours, with the Sarathians explaining their role as benevolent overseers of younger species. They offered Earth protection, status within their protectorate, which, as Maya quickly realized, meant accepting significant restrictions. "So to clarify," she said, keeping her voice neutral, "in exchange for this protection we would agree to halt all independent weapons development, limit our space exploration to our own solar system, and allow Sarathian advisors to oversee our technological advancement." Precisely, Vorix replied. These are standard protocols for Level 2 species. Your current technological trajectory suggests you are approximately 3 centuries from achieving viable interstellar travel capabilities. Under our guidance, this timeline could be accelerated to perhaps 2 centuries. Maya caught Dr. Harrison's subtle eye roll. That's generous, Maya said carefully. When might Earth be considered for full membership rather than protectorate status? Full membership requires Level 4 classification, which necessitates independent development of faster-than-light travel and planetary unification. As I've said, this is centuries away for humanity. After returning to Earth, Maya delivered her report to the United Security Council with frank assessment. They're colonizing us with a smile, she concluded. Their protection would essentially cap human development and place our future under their control. While they haven't made explicit threats, the implication is clear. Accept these terms or face isolation from galactic society. Could we resist militarily? Asked the Russian representative. Not directly. Their technology outclasses ours by orders of magnitude. However, Maya hesitated, then continued, I believe they're underestimating us. Their assessment of human capabilities seems based on our public technology and infrastructure. They've categorized us using their standard developmental model without accounting for human innovation or determination. The Chinese representative leaned forward. Commander Chen, you've been briefed on Project Quantum Leap? Not yet, Maya replied, curiosity piqued. The Secretary General nodded to an aide, who distributed quantum-encrypted tablets. This information is classified beyond top secret. For the past 27 years, a coalition of nations has been developing technology that could change our response to the Sarathian ultimatum. Maya's eyes widened as she absorbed the information on her screen. Is this accurate? We have a functional prototype? We do, confirmed the American representative. Hidden in the Mariana Trench, a fully operational faster-than-light propulsion system, based on principles entirely different from what the Sarathians use. Our scientists call it the quantum fold drive. The Sarathians believe we're centuries away from this technology, the Indian representative added. That misconception may be our greatest advantage. Over the following weeks, Maya split her time between diplomatic meetings with the increasingly demanding Sarathians and secret briefings about Project Quantum Leap. The aliens had begun establishing monitoring stations around the planet, sleek structures that supposedly facilitated cultural exchange, but that Earth's scientists suspected served more invasive purposes. Vorix requested increasingly detailed information about Earth's research facilities, with particular interest in deep ocean installations. Our sensors detect unusual energy signatures from your oceanic regions, he explained during one meeting. As your advisors, we should inspect these anomalies. Just routine geothermal research, Maya deflected. Our oceans remain largely unexplored. We're still discovering new phenomena, nothing that would interest advanced beings such as yourselves. But she knew time was running out. Through careful information gathering and one risky infiltration of a Sarathian shuttle, Dr. Harrison had discovered devastating news. The Sarathians weren't merely condescending. They were systematic exploiters of primitive worlds. They've done this before, Aisha explained, showing Maya encrypted files she'd managed to extract. They identify worlds on the verge of technological breakthroughs, impose these protectorate agreements, and effectively harvest resources and talent, while keeping the species dependent. Worlds that resist are quarantined, cut off from all galactic contact and trade. Moreover, the Sarathians had begun systematically mapping Earth's oceans. At their current rate, they would discover the Quantum Leap facility within days. Maya made her decision. Contact the Security Council. We need to accelerate the timeline. 3 days later, Maya found herself descending into the depths of the Mariana Trench aboard a specialized submarine. As they passed through layers of security and deception technologies, Dr. Elias Reed, the project's chief scientist, briefed her on the latest developments. We've compressed 3 years of testing into 3 weeks, he explained, his weathered face showing the strain. The Prometheus isn't ready for a sustained mission, but she'll jump. One fold, maybe two if we're lucky. Will that be enough? Maya asked. To reach the Galactic Council at Proxima Centauri? Yes. To change humanity's future? That depends on you, Commander. The submarine docked with an enormous underwater complex disguised as a natural formation. Inside, thousands of scientists and engineers worked frantically to prepare Earth's first Starship for emergency launch. And there she was, the Prometheus. Sleek and deadly, unlike any spacecraft Maya had seen. Where conventional designs prioritized practical concerns like radiation shielding and thrust efficiency, the Prometheus was built around its revolutionary drive system, a masterpiece of quantum engineering that bent the very fabric of reality. She's beautiful, Maya whispered. And as of 1800 hours today, Reed added. You're her captain. Maya turned to him in surprise. I'm a tactical commander, not a Starship captain. You're both now. The original mission called for a 3-month test flight within our solar system. New mission parameters: escape Earth undetected, execute a SAR, quantum fold to Proxima Centauri, and present our case to the Galactic Council before the Cerathians can stop us. Do we even know the Council exists, that they'll hear us? Reed smiled grimly. According to the files Dr. Harrison acquired, the Cerathians have been misrepresenting their authority. They're not the benevolent overseers they claim to be, just one power among many and not particularly well regarded. If we can reach the Council? The facility's alarms suddenly blared to life. Cerathian vessels approaching, announced the loudspeaker. Multiple craft, descending rapidly. Estimated. Discovery time, 17 minutes. Reed's expression hardened. Change of plans, Captain. You launch now. Humanity's revelation. The massive underwater bay doors slid open with glacial slowness as the Prometheus hummed to life. Inside the sleek vessel, organized chaos reigned as the hastily assembled crew of 48 prepared for humanity's first interstellar journey. Drive status? Maya demanded from the captain's station on the bridge, fingers dancing over holographic controls as she familiarized herself with the ship's systems. Quantum fold drive at 63% capacity and climbing, reported Dr. Reed from the engineering section. We need at least 85% for a stable fold. Lieutenant Commander Sanjay Dhawan, the navigation officer, swore under his breath. Captain, 6 Cerathian vessels have taken position directly above us. They're deploying submersible probes. Maya nodded grimly. The Prometheus wasn't ready, the crew wasn't ready, but there was no more time. Begin emergency ascent sequence. All hands, secure for violent maneuvers. The Starship shuddered as its conventional thrusters engaged, propelling it upward through the massive water column. Designed primarily for space travel, the Prometheus nonetheless cut through the ocean with surprising grace, accelerating toward the surface. Cerathian probes have detected us, announced the sensor officer. They're changing course to intercept. Weapons status? Maya asked. Defense systems online, but we don't know if they'll be effective against Cerathian technology. Maya had no intention of starting an interstellar war if she could avoid it. Hold fire unless directly attacked. Our mission is escape, not engagement. The Prometheus burst through the ocean surface in an explosion of spray and foam. Sunlight gleamed off its obsidian hull as its main engines roared to full power, driving the ship skyward with bone-crushing acceleration. Atmospheric exit in 45 seconds, Dhawan announced, his voice strained under the G-forces. On the main view screen they watched as Cerathian interceptors peeled away from their larger vessels, moving with impossible grace to pursue the human ship. They're hailing us, reported Communications Officer Fatima Nasser. Put it through, Maya ordered, adjusting her restraints. High Emissary Vorix's face appeared on screen, his normally composed features twisted with rage and disbelief. What is the meaning of this deception? You possess advanced propulsion technology. Cease your launch immediately or face severe consequences. I apologize for the misunderstanding, Emissary, Maya replied with deliberate calm. It seems your assessment of human capabilities was somewhat outdated. We'll be happy to discuss revised terms for our relationship once we've paid our respects to the Galactic Council. Vorix's eyes widened. You know nothing of the Council? Return to your assigned territory immediately, or... Maya cut the transmission with a swipe of her hand. Status of the quantum fold drive? 79% and rising, Reed reported. We need 5 more minutes. The Sarathian interceptors will reach us in 3, countered Dewan. Maya made a split-second decision. Divert power from non-essential systems. Life support reduced to minimum levels. We need that drive online now. The lights dimmed across the ship as energy flowed into the experimental drive system. The Prometheus broke free of Earth's atmosphere, entering the cold vacuum of space. Behind them, the Sarathian interceptors closed the gap with alarming speed. "They're arming weapons," called out the sensor officer. "Evasive pattern Delta," Maya ordered. "Dr. Reed, I need options." "Drive at 83%, Reed replied. "It's not enough. For a stable fold, but we might survive it." "Might isn't good enough, Doctor. Find me another percent." The first Sarathian energy beam struck the Prometheus's shields, which flared brilliant blue under the impact. "Shields holding at 72%, reported the defense officer. "But they're recalibrating their weapons. Next hit will be worse." Dr. Reed's voice came over the comm, tinged with desperate inspiration. "Captain, if we execute a slingshot maneuver around the moon, we could gain enough velocity to reduce the energy requirements for the fold." "Do it," Maya commanded. "Dewan, plot the course." The Prometheus banked sharply, accelerating toward the moon as 4 Sarathian interceptors followed in tight formation. More energy beams lanced out, 2 missing entirely, 1 glancing off the shields, but the 4th striking directly amidships. "Shields at 41%, came the grim report. "We can't take another direct hit." The moon grew rapidly larger in their view screen as the Prometheus hurtled toward it at terrifying speed. "All hands, brace for high-G maneuver," Maya warned seconds before. Dewan executed the slingshot. The ship swung around the lunar mass, its structural integrity field straining as gravitational forces threatened to tear it apart. But the maneuver worked. They emerged from the moon's shadow on a new vector, their velocity significantly increased. "Drive status," Maya demanded. 88%, Reed shouted triumphantly. "It's enough. Barely. Execute quantum fold now." For a brief, terrifying moment, nothing happened. Then reality itself seemed to bend around the Prometheus. Stars stretched into lines, then vanished altogether as the ship slipped between the conventional dimensions of space-time. Inside the ship, the crew experienced a moment of profound disorientation, a sensation of existing everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the fold was complete. The view screen showed new stars, a new system. "Position?" Maya asked, fighting down nausea. Dewan checked his instruments in disbelief. "We did it, Captain. Proxima Centauri system. The journey that should have taken years. We just traveled 4.2 light-years in under a minute." The bridge crew erupted in cheers, but Maya remained focused. "Status report? Dr. Reed, is the drive functional?" "Operational but strained," came the reply. "I wouldn't recommend another fold without repairs." "Let's hope we don't need one." "Scan for the Galactic Council station. According to the Sarathian files, it should be in orbit around the 4th planet." Within hours, the Prometheus had been intercepted, not by Sarathian vessels but by sleek ships of an unfamiliar design. To everyone's relief, these newcomers made no aggressive moves, instead escorting the human vessel to an enormous space station that dwarfed anything humanity had built. "It's beautiful," Fatima whispered as they approached the massive structure. A series of interconnected rings rotating gracefully around a central sphere, teeming with ships of countless designs. The reception committee that greeted Maya and her diplomatic team consisted of representatives from 7 different species, none of them Sarathian. An elegant being with feathered crests identified itself as Counselor Talon of the Galactic Council's diplomatic corps. "We have been aware of your species for some time, though direct contact was prohibited due to Sarathian claims in your sector," Talon explained as they walked through the station's grand corridors. "Your arrival has created quite a stir, Captain. Chen, the Sarathians told us we were centuries away from developing interstellar travel," Maya replied. Talon made a trilling sound that might have been laughter. The Sarathians are known for misrepresenting the truth when it serves their interests. They've claimed exclusive development rights to dozens of worlds by portraying themselves as official representatives of the Council. They have no such authority? None whatsoever. The Council advocates for self-determination of all sapient species. We offer guidance when requested, but we do not impose restrictions on technological development or exploration. In the Council chambers, Maya presented Earth's case. The Sarathian demands their deception and humanity's desire for fair treatment among the galactic community. With each revelation, the Council members grew more concerned. This pattern of behavior has continued despite previous warnings. Noted a crystalline being identified as the Justice Counselor. Perhaps more serious measures are warranted. The deliberations continued for hours. Finally, Counselor Talon turned to Maya. The Council has reached a decision. First, the Sarathian Protectorate's claims to Earth and its system are hereby nullified. Second, humanity is recognized as a sovereign spacefaring species with all rights and responsibilities that entails. Third, we will dispatch vessels to escort the Sarathians from your territory immediately. Maya bowed respectfully. And what of their claims that we're too primitive for full participation in galactic society? Captain Chen, Talon replied, mandibles clicking in what seemed to be amusement. Any species that can develop quantum fold technology independently, and then successfully use it on their first attempt, hardly qualifies as primitive. The Sarathians themselves took centuries to perfect similar technology. 1 week later, Maya stood on the Prometheus's observation deck watching as Council vessels escorted the last Sarathian ships away from Earth. Dr. Reed joined her, looking considerably more rested than when they'd first launched. The engineering team has finished integrating the improvements the Council provided, he reported. The quantum fold drive is now operating at 126% efficiency. We could reach Andromeda if we wanted to. Maya smiled. One step at a time, Doctor. We have a lot to learn about our new neighborhood. The Council representatives seem impressed with our adaptability. Several species have already proposed trade agreements and cultural exchanges. And the Sarathians? Reed's expression darkened, slightly. Formally censured by the Council and restricted from approaching Earth for the next century, their protectorate scheme has been exposed across the galaxy. Maya nodded, turning back to the viewport. Earth shone blue and beautiful below them, no longer isolated, no longer constrained by artificial limitations. The stars that had once seemed so distant now represented possibilities, not barriers. You know what the best part is? She said, after a moment of contemplation. What's that? According to Counselor Talon, we're just getting started. The quantum fold is just one approach to interstellar travel. There are dozens of others waiting to be discovered. She turned to face Reed, eyes bright with possibility. They thought we were primitive because we hadn't done it their way. But that's humanity's greatest strength. We find our own path. As the Prometheus prepared for its return journey to Earth, the vanguard of a new era of human exploration, one thing became abundantly clear. Those who underestimated humanity did so at their peril. The species that had been dismissed as primitive had just claimed its rightful place among the stars.